Perfect. Give it a few minutes for folks to get in here. Oh, fine. Oh no, you don't get me that. Yeah, no problem, man. That sucks for Derek. Sorry, I just saw that. Should text Jared too.
Do I say in the end?
Alrighty, folks, here we go on this Labor Day Monday evening. I'm Colin Chismore, you're the voice of the Northeast iRacing League. Tonight's kind of an impromptu event, should have a bit of a smaller field here tonight at USA International Speedway, making the trip back here with the Northeast iRacing League and the 358 Modifieds. Shouldn't be many drivers tonight, as we see Quentin Stohart in the number 89 making an appearance, of course. Quentin extremely strong in the past few races with, well, all the races we've had in the Northeast iRacing League is he's the first driver to take the track and currently the only driver to. Either way, just want to drop some news again. Urashi Media partnering up with the Northeast iRacing League to become a title sponsor associated with the league. So very, very glad to see Brody and Urashi Media jumping on board to help out. As we're watching, like I said, Quentin cycle some laps through here. Racing going on currently at Cornwall Motor Speedway, so that would probably be part of the reason why we're going to have a smaller field. I know drivers like Clayton Solovsky, Matthew Barber, they're currently running their respective divisions tonight. A little bit of a quick news report from there. Jackson Gill wins the 125 lapper there tonight. So congratulations to him either way. As we start our 15-minute practice session here. Currently 15 minutes, 30 seconds left, so plenty of time left for some drivers to come join up and join this impromptu session. I know Quentin's probably extremely happy out there being the only driver currently on that track, so he's definitely going to have quite a bit of experience. Of course, we have run this track before as Quentin brings it down into the pits. Just wanted to touch on a few housekeeping things. Tonight, it's not looking like we're going to have a consolation event, so it should be a relatively quicker show. As, of course, not as many drivers will be showing up as normally expected. We had a little bit of a break as well this past Thursday, just to go over some housekeeping things with the Northeast iRacing League. Tonight, also, we're reverting back to the original rule set that we had as John West joins the session here at USA. John always having some strong runs here. But like I said, we're going to the original rule set, so restarts will no longer be go wherever once the leader fires. We're going to switch to more like the NASCAR side of things. No passing on the inside with single file and double file restarts until you are past the start-finish line, but you're free to go to the outside if you'd like. Gotta watch that though, as sometimes the straightaway wall can come up a little bit quick coming off of turn 4. As we're waiting for more drivers to join. Like I said, we have Quentin Stohart and John West currently set to do battle here at USA. Working to see if any other drivers are going to be jumping in. We're watching John West currently cycle his way through and learn the USA Speedway again. Like I said, the Northeast iRacing League has visited this place as it was the host facility for our first few races, as we have Chad Lackey, podium finisher from our last event, as we're now just under 12 minutes before we start qualifying. Of course, just letting everybody know, we need a minimum of, I do believe it is 8 drivers to be able to start this event. So hopefully we can have a couple more guys post up and join in the server here. Currently, Quentin Stohart putting down the fastest time with a 22.813. John West a little bit further off with a 23.220. Chad Lackey also jumping in, so we'll see if Quentin's fastest time can hold true here as more guys start cycling through and learning the track. No, not looking promising at all. Unfortunately, just over 10 minutes left here in this practice session. We do need 8, so trying to reach out to some drivers right here myself, but like David said, unfortunately, it's just not looking promising to be able to start the event tonight. But we'll wait for the timer to come down, and David will make a decision on what we're going to do and go from there. To my knowledge, it is a minimum of 8 that we need to be able to start an event. Yeah, we have Blake Smith currently joining the session 2, a novice sportsman driver in the Northeast racing area. Blake had quite a solid season, as now the points have pretty well come to an end at most of the tracks in the area. I know, like I said, Cornwall Motor Speedway is running tonight, so that is unfortunately probably part of the reason we are having a lower count, but either way. From what I understand, Michael Saunders will also be joining us here tonight, mini stock driver at Brockville, Ontario Speedway. So hopefully we can get a couple more. So we just have under 9 minutes now in the session as we're watching Chad Lackey cycle his way down turn number 3 at USA Speedway. Chad always extremely strong here in this Northeast iRacing League. Former vintage modified driver. I know Chad unfortunately had to step away from racing, but finds another niche here in the iRacing division as Ken Scott's also jumped back in. I do believe that's Ella under that car tonight, if I'm not mistaken, so see if she can do any good here tonight in her first ever iRacing start with the Northeast iRacing League, I guess is the best way to put that, as we're now under the 8-minute mark here to pick up another 3 drivers, I do believe. 5, 6, yeah, we need 3 more to be able to start an event. I know Mike Saunders will be jumping in here in a bit, so we'll see how things shape up. So, we're watching Quentin Stohart trailing John West here. Like I said, Quentin extremely strong as he looks to try and get off the bottom of the corner and underneath that 444, John West. I know John, part-time, I do believe he runs the Sportsman Modifieds in Southern Ontario and or Northern New York. I'm not 100% sure if I'm honest with you. As Stohart trying the outside, looking to get around him here in this practice session. But last time we were here at USA, I remember it was all single file around the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. As the 3 or 6 drivers that have currently joined, we have Quentin Stohart, Chad Lackey, John West, Ellis Scott in the 03, Blake Smith in the 18, and Ken Scott in the 21. So I do believe that's a father and daughter combination there, as Ken posts up a lap time of a 24.052. So we need 2 more drivers here. Ryland Poole jumping in as well. So as long as Mike Saunders jumps on, we will make our 8. Like I said, Blake Smith has jumped in as well. Hasn't ran any lap times yet, nor has Ryland Poole. So we'll wait for them to continue on, do what they need to be able to do to get a little bit of practice in before we go green here in a little bit. As we're just under the 6-minute mark now, 5 minutes 30 seconds roughly, before we do start the qualifying procedure here. As like I said earlier, Quentin Stohart and Chad Lackey posting some pretty good times. John West not too far off, running that 870 currently in P3. Ken Scott running a 23.184. Ella Scott not that far behind from the field in her first ever start here in that purple number 03 machine. I can say that machine does look very good for the paint scheme. Ella making her first start here with the Northeast iRacing League, so really hope to see her do well here. Currently posting a faster lap time than she had, a 23.829, so getting faster as she goes here. This is Ryland Poole taking to the track here for the first time. That number 76 from what I can see. John West trailing that 03 of Ella Scott. Alrighty, you've heard it from David here, the Eye in the Sky Race Control. We have 8 drivers now. Michael Saunders joining in. Mike coming off a really good run at Brighton Speedway, but unfortunately some contradicting rule sets created a DQ for Mike. So hoping to see him rebound here as he's now jumped in and joined the session here. So currently we have 8 drivers answering the call for tonight, so we do have our minimum. Blake Smith, Ryland Poole, and Michael Saunders still not posting a lap time though, actually, as I say that. Ryland Poole, 23.244. As he takes his first time lapped here, as Mike Saunders gets around on the inside coming out of the pit area. Of course, Mike's probably ran asphalt pretty well all day. He just told me to jump back on. So he'll have to get used to the 358 modifieds back on the dirt. I have tried these modifieds in iRacing, and they are quite a handful to say the very least. So what it's looking like tonight, I can say we may only have just the 1 heat, and then we will jump into the feature event. Like I said earlier, the rule sets, we're following pretty well iRacing defaults from my understanding, so what's really going to change for the most part is going to be our restart rules, no passing on the inside before the start-finish line with single and double file starts, respectively. Kind of similar to how NASCAR does it, I guess, if for lack of a better description, as we're still watching Ella Scott getting her feet wet here in the Northeast iRacing League. She's really holding a really clean line here. John West hasn't really been trailing her too far behind her, as he's just stayed about 4 or 5 car lengths throughout this session that he's been following her, as we see the number 76, I do believe, of Ryland Pools. He's in another paint scheme tonight, from what I understand. So definitely nice to see these cool-looking cars here on this iRacing League. Some very similar to what drivers actually run. I know Ryland Pool runs that go-kart. I see TV Kojiko on there, so very similar to, I'm assuming, his go-kart that he would run on Wednesday nights at Rockville, Ontario Speedway. I know the Fall Karting Classic is coming up here. I do believe this weekend it's a Saturday-Sunday show, so be fun for the kids to get their feet wet, and the rising stars of the Northeast iRacing League jumping in as Jared Galway has now joined the commentators area. He's been at my side just a couple times as we're just under a minute and 30 seconds into this, remaining in this final practice session. How are you tonight, Jared?
I'm not too bad. Yourself, Colin?
Oh, I'm not doing bad at all. Looks like we're going to have our minimum size field here tonight. I know your teammate and buddy Mike Saunders is in the field. We also have Quentin Stohart, Chad Lackey, John West, Ryland Poole, Ken Scott, Ella Scott, and Blake Smith answering the call tonight. So should be a pretty quick event for us here tonight as Ryland Poole gets into the inside wall there and catches John West up in front of him as Chad Lackey seems to miss it all and goes by on the inside. We're under a minute now for our hot lap session here, so we will be moving into the heats directly. If I'm not mistaken, we're only going to have one heat with 8 cars, and then we're going to move directly into the feature, so it'll be a relatively quick, clean night as we have a couple drivers, or one driver making a fresh start here, Ella Scott. So it's going to be good to see how she does in that 03 machine, Jared.
Absolutely. I'm just joining in right now, so I haven't been fully brought up to speed. I'm not even sure where we're running tonight.
We're at the USA Speedway tonight, our original track that we started with here. Just figured this impromptu event would make things a little easier as we have another mini stock driver making his Northeast iRacing League debut, John Saunders, joining the session here as we're moving about 2 seconds away from moving into our qualifying events. Drivers will have 5 minutes to post up their 2 best lap times. We'll watch timing and scoring to see how everything follows through for the starting lineup for the heat race or races. We're going to see what iRacing is going to do with that, whether they're going to put X amount of cars in each heat, but Chad Lackey taking the track for his qualifying attempt as he comes into turn 1 off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway, looks like he has a really clean line coming off that corner as it's looking like he's going to run that bottom again. Here at USA, the last time we were here, it was all bottom lane. Another thing I can say through the heats and everything like that, with only having 9 cars answering the call tonight, all vehicles will start. So we're going to have a half-size field tonight from our regular 18. Still very appreciative of all these folks coming out, running against each other. Like I said earlier, Cornwall Motor Speedway is running an event tonight. Unfortunately, yesterday they fell to rain. I know I drove through that on the way home as we watched Chad Lackey jump to the top of the board with a 22.639 as his fastest lap. Mike Saunders second on the board with Ken Scott ranking 3rd currently. Ella Scott ranking 4th with a 23.241. Ella currently running her 2nd lap, from what I can see. Definitely going to see if, I do believe Ken's her father. So it's kind of like a father-daughter affair here tonight as Quentin Stohart jumps up to P2 on the board, dropping Mike Saunders down to 3rd, John West up to 4th. Ryland Poole currently sitting in 5th with Ken Scott, Blake Smith, and Ella Scott, all posting lap times so far. Jonathan Saunders is the only driver we're waiting to... Blake Smith gets into the bottom wall, overcorrects, and then just slams into that wall head on. There we are with John, working his 2 laps here. Is currently Chad Lackey still sitting on pole. I know Chad coming off a podium finish. I don't think he's won an A-main here yet in the Northeast iRacing League, so maybe tonight's the night. But I know Quentin Stohart, Mike Saunders, even John Saunders, everybody here is going to try and, of course, make some noise and put a stop to Chad Lackey's good run and being able to. So it'll be fun to watch these guys do battle here tonight as John, very, very clean line, takes it back into the pit area, posting a 9th place time of 23.645. So qualifying should be coming to an end here momentarily. Roughly 2 minutes and 20 seconds left for that. I do know all drivers have posted up their times. So we'll see if anybody wants to go back out for a run, if they can. But as it sits right now, currently sitting on pole, Chad Lackey with Quentin Stohart, currently ranked P2. Jared's teammate, the 88, Mike Saunders, currently ranked 3rd. John West, 4th. Ryland Poole in that 76, ranked 5th. Ken Scott in the 21, ranked 6th, as we are moving into our heat race. Good to see how many drivers they take here. I'm pretty sure we're taking everybody into the one single heat race, as the 03 of Ella Scott has taken her spot on the grid.
Well, this should be really interesting.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting, like you said, Jared. Everybody being started in this heat race. So, like I said earlier, Chad Lackey and Quentin Stohart starting on row number 1, respectively. Mike Saunders and John West currently are going to be firing off from row 2. It's looking like Ryland Poole, and I do believe that is the blue number 21 machine of Ken Scott, his outside. Blake Smith and Ella Scott taking up row number 4. And firing off last on the field, unfortunately, is that number 71 of John Saunders making his Northeast iRacing League debut. So really good to see the Saunders boys making it a family affair here tonight, especially with the Scott family as well. Of course, Ella and Ken, father-daughter. So we've got some cousins as well, Michael Saunders and John Saunders, as the pace truck takes them down to the turn number 3. Drivers getting their tires figured out, things all set up, of course running fixed setups. Like I said, 9 cars answering the call tonight, so 1 heat race, and then we should be jumping directly into the feature. I do believe we're going to be going 30 laps for that tonight with a 1-hour time limit. I don't see that time limit being an issue at all though, Jared.
No, not at all. Who's your pick for this one, Colin? I know who mine is. It might be a little bit biased, but I'm definitely a Mike Saunders fan.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, you and Mike coming off some pretty good, but the results didn't show for it run at Brighton. I'm going to say myself, I'm not really going to be biased as a commentator, but I'm going to have to go with Chad Lackey. It's either going to be Chad or Quentin for this one. Those guys have just been so strong for the start of the season here, or the unofficial season with the Northeast iRacing League. I do believe this is our 6th or 7th unofficial event, of course running practice runs before October, but either way, pace truck, lights are out. He's looking to go to the safe haven to the infield. Is Lackey, Stohart, bring him down to green.
Green flag, green flag.
Waiting, and Lackey finally fires. Quinn Stohart is outside. Mike Saunders kind of drops a little bit back there. But we got the 76 Ryland Poole trying to split the middle there straight out of the gate as Mike Saunders is dropping back. Stohart and Lackey, though, battle for the lead going down into turn number 3. Drag race as Lackey slams the door on that 89 machine of Stohart as they work their way out of turn number 4.
Yellow flag is out.
Looks like we're under caution. John West and Ella Scott. John Saunders also involved as we are officially 1 lap into this 8-lap heat event. Not 100% sure what happened back there, but everybody seems to gather back up and be able to drive away, Jared.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened at the back there either, Colin. And like you say, it was an interesting weekend of racing up in Brighton. Mike and I, of course, went up for Saturday night's race. Both of us doing really well. I myself got taken out, and Mike unfortunately got a disqualification, as it was quite interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting, unfortunately, but clarification was given when crew members did approach officials just to get the clarification. So, I mean, you kind of got to read it that way, but nonetheless, the situation at hand right now, we have Chad Lackey choosing the inside for this restart, from what I can see. Quentin Stohart to his outside. Yeah, Mike Saunders still back there in third. He didn't have a very good original start, but we'll see how things shape up for him. As we also have Ryland Poole currently ranked P4. Ken Scott, Blake Smith, 5th and 6th. John West, Ellis Scott, and John Saunders rounding out the field for this first and only heat race, and then we'll jump into the feature.
Can't wait to get this feature underway.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. I know we only have 9 cars, but it'll be a quick, interesting show. I say quick, but we're under caution on lap 1 of the heat. So 2 laps in the books from or 1 lap in the books. So it will not be a total restart per boss rules. We're going iRacing style here tonight, trying some different things as we're getting ready for the official points season here. We don't want any issues. I know there's something to do with black flag clears that aren't going to be happening as quickly, so it's really in the hands of the drivers, of course, to adapt to the rule set, follow the rule book. Just want to shout out real quick before we go back to green to Ureshi Media and Brody Plotz, driver, for partnering up with the Northeast iRacing League. Brody definitely coming along in his craft as lights are now out on the pace truck, Jared, as we're coming down to green. Lackey and Stohart. Mike Saunders gets a really good start on the bottom there, but Chad Lackey slides up to the top in front of Stohart to kind of close the door on him as they work their way down into turn number 1. Excuse me. As we have battle for third, current battle for third. Ryland Poole jumping up into third. Blake Smith currently on his outside. So 2 former go-kart racers and current go-kart racers going at it with mini stock driver Mike Saunders currently running in P5. Chad Lackey and Quentin Stohart pulling away from them. Pretty well even distance from first, second, and third with about 3 or 4 car lengths as Chad Lackey works his way down into turn number 3 for the third time here tonight. Blake Smith looking to the outside of that number 76 of Ryland Poole, crosses him over coming off the corner. Mike Saunders looking to follow him down through there, but Mike can't quite get the launch off the corner that those other 2 cars that are battling are getting at. Little contact being made between them, and Mike's just thinking, if you guys make a mistake, I'm going to take advantage of it. Right here as we're currently watching the battle for third. As watch the number 88, Mike Saunders, he moves up to the top, but that's 18 of Blake Smith is running that bottom lane really, really strong. Mike gets the momentum off the top, though. He gets the position that lap as he's working underneath the number 76, Ryland Banks now. Or Ryland Poole, sorry. 2 Rylands in the division. Ryland Banks, of course, unable to join us here tonight. This is really, really good racing here. Mike Saunders jumps up in the third position, still trying to hold off that number 76 of Ryland, though. As Blake Smith looking to the bottom. John West, don't count him out of this battle either. He's had some pretty solid runs here lately, and just seems to be like a fine wine, just getting better the longer he's around. Mike Saunders currently looking quite solid in that P3 position, Jared.
Absolutely. Mike is definitely getting more and more adaptive to this iRacing. Not only the iRacing, but in real racing as well. He's definitely coming into his own.
Yeah, that's 100% sure, as we're now with 2 laps to go. Still Chad Lackey leading the way, wire to wire so far for this event. Quentin Stohart not that far behind him, though. They seem to distance themselves from 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. I see that is the number 89 of Stohart. Mike's kind of closing in on him just a little bit, Jared. As the white flag is out, it's all going to be Chad Lackey, though, from the looks of it. He's just got about a half a straightaway, or quarter straightaway lead on 2nd place right now. He works his way through turn 3 and 4 on that cushion. Not somewhere you'd really guess to see drivers tonight, but I guess he's just trying things for the feature as he takes the heat win here tonight. You've got Quentin Stohart, Michael Saunders, Blake Smith, Ryland Poole, John West, Ken Scott, Ellis Scott finishing P8 in her debut as little bit of contact being made between the 76 and the 18 at the end of this heat race. Not sure if that's a little bit of bad blood or not, but either way, we're going to take green for the feature here in just a few moments. 30 laps, Jared.
Well, I can't wait. I mean, all the drivers really performed really well in that heat race. And I like the smaller groups as opposed to the larger groups. Lot tighter racing action instead of follow the leader, I find.
Yes, of course. Of course, we have a 6-car invert here tonight, so we have the 444 John West starting pole for this feature race with Ryland Poole to his outside. Row number 2, it's looking like Blake Smith and Mike Saunders. Row number 3, you got Quentin Stohart and your heat winner to his outside, Chad Lackey. Chad, of course, having podium finishes the past few events. Then you have Ken Scott and Ella Scott, father-daughter, making up row number 4. John Saunders is going to be going shotgun on the field here tonight for 30 laps. Feature, I do believe we have a 1 hour time limit to get 30 laps in the books. Of course, after a quick little hiccup in heat number 1, we were able to get the rest of the race in under green. So hopefully the feature is able to do that. We're going to get some nice hard racing here at USA Speedway. I can say track conditions are looking pretty good too, Jared. I saw they were working the top, the bottom, just trying to find what they can.
Yeah, it looks like a multi-lane racing surface tonight, which should provide for, again, some almost the mirror image of what we just saw in the heat race. I believe everybody's going to be tight. I think once the leader gets out front, though, I think he might start gapping the rest of the field.
Yeah, the cream is definitely always going to rise to the top in this event, but with that invert, Chad Lackey and Quentin Stohart, they have their work cut out for them. But like I said earlier, don't count out Mike Saunders, Ryland Poole, Blake Smith, any of them. You can't count any of them out here tonight. As the lights are out on the pace truck, we're going to be going green here this time around for the Northeast iRacing League. Just want to shout out Urashi Media again for joining us here tonight with the Northeast iRacing League as a partner, sponsor with us. Also want to just say, right before we go green, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever it may be on whatever social media platform you're using here tonight. And the pace truck is looking to the safe haven of the infield. John West and Ryland Poole.
Green.
Fire us off to green. We are clean, green, and mean for the Northeast iRacing League here. John West gets the jump. Ryland Poole drops back just a little bit. Mike Saunders to his back bumper as Mike working the top line. Blake Smith jumps down to the bottom of that number 444 John West. Quentin Stohart looking to make some noise there as we're watching a 3-wide battle for the lead right now. A little bit of contact. Chad Lackey jumping to that high side, working his way around those guys as lap number 1 is now in the books. It's going to be John West leading the first lap here. Ryland Poole currently running second with Blake Smith behind him. It's just 5 cars under a blanket there for P2 as a little bit of contact just happened there. Quentin Stohart got the inside barrier just a little bit, so we're going to see if that puts us under caution as Quentin unfortunately drops back. We'll see. What happens there is somebody else got into Quentin, so not a very good start for that 89 of Stohart as he's looking to rebound now, currently running in the P7 position. John West, though, opening a little bit of space up between himself and Chad Lackey, but Chad Lackey's running that high side quite well here tonight. Ryland Poole not too far behind, so like you said earlier, Jared, quite tight racing as we're working lap number 3 of 30.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised I actually predicted that, but these guys seem to be getting better and better each week. I know we have a few new faces tonight, John Saunders being one of them. By the way, John, love the look of that paint scheme, the orange and blue. I really like it.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a very good-looking machine, very similar to his mini stock colors. We currently have John West still leading the way, with Chad Lackey currently running P2. Like I said earlier, Chad Lackey has been the bridesmaid, but he hasn't been the bride quite lately, so maybe tonight is his night. But like I said earlier, John West, Quentin Stohart, Ryland Poole, Blake Smith, Mike Saunders, everyone in this field is looking to get that win, and they're not going to go down without a fight, as I can definitely tell that Chad's being quite patient here, working and following that number 444, John West. As he's looking down onto the inside of John. Gets up in front of him, kind of a little bit of a slide job there. John West crosses him over as they go down the back straight. It's a drag race down to the turn number 3. We got Lackey on the outside, throws it into the corner, get alongside that number 444 West. Lackey able to get a little bit of a run coming off the corner here and clears West. 91 of Chad Lackey takes over the lead at lap number 7 of 30 here tonight. John West and Ryland Poole currently battling for P2 right now. You have Blake Smith, the 88 of Mike Saunders as well, with Jonathan Saunders. So Cousins running 5th and 6th. Quentin Stohart currently running P7 after some early trouble. I don't know if he's waiting for a possible yellow to be able to get a reset if he has any damage or not, but interesting to see. And then daughter currently busting father right now. Ella Scott running P8. Ken Scott currently in P9 as we're watching the battle for second starting to heat up a little bit more here. That's 76 of Poole is about a car length off that 444 West as he tries the outside to get around him. Multi-lane track here tonight. From what I can see, that outside can get a little bit of a run as Ryland sticks his nose in there going down the front straightaway. Can't quite get it done as Blake Smith is now currently underneath him. Blake, of course, looking very solid here tonight. I know the past few weeks, not quite good luck for those two as contact between the 76 and the 18. They seem to gather back up as they work down in turn number 3. But Mike Saunders is also starting to rise up a little bit here after dropping back toward the start. He's currently running P5 right now. As the 76 of Banks gets into the back of the 444 machine, and the 440 machine goes around of John West. That'll put us under our first caution flag here on lap number 10 of 30. Definitely going to have to watch and see what race control does with that, if anything is going to be done of that. It could just be hard racing, getting into each other. I know those guys were battling lap after lap, so we'll see. I don't think anything's going to come of that, though. Currently working the first caution flag here on lap number 10 of 30, we have Chad Lackey, your current leader. Ryland Poole currently running P2 after making contact with that 444 machine. P3 right now, I do believe we have Blake Smith. Mike Saunders currently ranked P4 with his cousin to his outside, or to his back bumper. As the 444 is showing a little bit of displeasure here with that 76 machine. Gonna wait and see if race control actually sees anything, or if that 444 at West drops back. I know those guys, they were battling quite hard there. As John seems to be dropping back toward the tail end of the field where he'll pick up and rejoin. Lights still on the pace truck, waiting for race control to give the command for the drivers to double up here, Jared. What do you think of the event going on here so far?
It's definitely been interesting again with the smaller field. I see a little bit of temper starting to flare out there. Long weekend with not a lot of racing. A lot of places got rained out, so I think the right foot tonight is a little bit heavier than maybe it normally would be.
Yeah, of course. I know these drivers, they do know these cars do have 2 pedals, as well as they do remind us on Saturday nights sometimes in the mini stock, and pretty well across all divisions, I can say.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes we do forget that there is that bigger pedal in the middle.
Yeah, of course. Or in the case of the 358s or the Sportsmans or sprint cars even, the pedal to the left foot. As the lights are out on the pace truck as we work our way down the back straightaway, it's going to be Chad Lackey and Ryland Poole leading us to green here. Blake Smith to the inside of row number 2 with Mike Saunders to his outside. Cousin John to the inside of row number 3 with Quinn Stohart looking to make his way back up toward the front and to his outside. Father, daughter, row 4, and John West taking up the end of the field, the cause for our first caution, unfortunately. As pace truck looking into back to the infield, Chad Lackey gets a really good start on
green flag,
and we are back to green. Chad Lackey leads us down in turn number 1. He opens up a little bit of distance on that number 76 of Ryland Poole, but Blake Smith and Mike Saunders right on that tail end of that number 76 machine, as I know Ryland's looking to get his first Northeast iRacing win here tonight as well. Mike Saunders, a little bit of contact on the back of that 18 machine coming off turn number 4. Those boys sort everything out and keep going. As the number 91 of Chad Lackey around, causing big incident here. The number, wow. As we're going to rewind and see exactly what happened here. We've got Ryland Poole getting into the back of that number 91 of Lackey, so he might have drove it a little bit too hard going into that corner. As you see, Jared, Blake Smith missing a tire here as we're working under caution. Chad Lackey, wouldn't be surprised to see him take it to the pit area and try and get that car fixed up with a reset here, but second time, unfortunately, we've seen that 76 get into somebody and cause a yellow. As Blake Smith takes it into his stall to get that car repaired and back out. Of course, missing that right front tire. From what I could see, you had the leader involved quite a few people, unfortunately. So currently we have scored Ryland Poole in P1. From what I can see, with the unofficial timing and scoring, the 88 of Mike Saunders currently running second. 89 of Quentin Stohard. He's not out of it yet. He's running third place here as Ken Scott and John West currently fourth and fifth. As we see Ella and, as expected, Chad Lackey take their vehicles into the pit area to get some attention. Light's still on the pace truck, so we're going to give these drivers a little bit of time to do what they need to do here after that incident on lap number 12.
These are, I don't think you afford them.
I assure you they were paid for in full and they're yours to enjoy with no strings attached.
I'm not 100% sure what would have happened there, David, but from what I saw, there was some involvement from the 76 in that, but I cannot comment on what race control does, unfortunately. As I am the commentator, you don't want any bias going on in this event. As the 76 at Poole still being shown your leader right now, as he drops to the tail after unfortunately being EOL'd. Stops at the start-finish line, jumps back into the tail end of the field from what I can see here. Or stopping at the start-finish line. Maybe he's trying to protest what's going on here. We're going to see what he does. I know that's not usually too much of a liking taken to, but he'll come up to the tail of the field from what I understand and rejoin. So that's going to put your leader as the number 88 of Mike Saunders with Quentin Stohart. Should be restarting to his outside, rebounding after that early incident. Dropping back, as well as Mike, who dropped back just a little bit.
No, Money Mike just missed that wreck by the skin of his teeth there. He was so close, I'm pretty sure he could taste it.
Yeah, definitely. We both know even in real life you do get close to things happening, and it's part of racing. Sorry.
Learn to drive with the fear, as Reese Bobby would say.
Well, I know Mike was driving like he had a cougar in the car Saturday night at Brighton.
He absolutely was. Extremely proud of him and the way he handled himself on and off the track Saturday night.
So, being it's Jared's teammate Mike leading us to green, I'm going to let Jared commentate this restart here.
Lights are out on the pace truck as 88 looks to take him to green. Everybody doubled up, waiting for the green flag to drop. Pace truck is pulling off. And we're back to racing. Mike gets a really good jump off the start with Quentin Stoddard sitting in second and Ken Scott sitting in third. Mike running that high side. Quentin Stoddard on the inside looking. As we see the 44 and the... I can't see the numbers.
That would be the 21 of Ken Scott battling it out for P number 3 right now. Quentin Stohart staying on that rear bumper, that 88 of Mike Saunders, though, as they're battling side by side as the 21 gets turned into the wall head on down in turn number 1. I'm pretty sure that will be putting us under yellow here, as there was a car upside down. Mike Saunders still out to an advantage with the lead right now. John West and Chad Lackey currently running and battling it out for P3. Lap 15, so Money Mike is going to lead us at halfway. Not sure if Ken Scott's gone to the back or not, as we're looking over some settings here really quickly. That 21 car, he's still circulating around on the inside there, so hopefully we'll have a caution thrown here soon for that event, but it's not looking like it's going to be. As working lap number 16, Mike, out to a lead here. And I do believe this is only his third Northeast iRacing League event, but Quentin Stoddart, as the caution flag is out for that slow number 21 of Ken Scott, who somehow turned head on in that turn number 1 and ended up upside down a few times. So we'll let all the drivers sort their things out. Mike Saunders currently scored as your leader with the 89 of Quentin Stohart. Chad Lackey in the 91 currently running P3, rebounding after that incident with the number 76. John West having a really strong showing here tonight. He's been in the top 5 for most of the night here. I know he was our pole sitter for the start of the feature race. So really got to see him have, as the number 76 and 18 are exchanging pleasantries back there. We're going to see what race control thinks of that, as we do have a pretty strong stance here in the Northeast iRacing League for incidents like that happening. As we're going to rewind and take a look at that. It looks like the number 71, or the number 18 slammed into the 76 there under caution. So that's not going to be really taken too much of a liking to. I know these guys were exchanging pleasantries earlier, so it's unfortunate to see tempers flare, like you said, Jared. No racing for a while. We've been rained out for a few weeks in the area at multiple different tracks, and I mean, it is just a game, but you want to try and be a good sportsman when it comes to like this.
Well, I think a lot of these guys would treat it the same, as if they were out at a real track. I mean, you show other people respect out on the track, you get it, whether it's in a video game or in real life.
Exactly. Even I know, just finishing up my sophomore season in the mini stock division, respect is definitely earned.
Absolutely. And some people get that faster than others, and some people have been doing it for years, still trying to learn.
Yeah, it's part of racing, though, as the lights on the pace truck are out currently right now. We have Michael Saunders and the number 89 of Quentin Stohart to his outside. Chad Lackey looking for his first Northeast iRacing League win, rebounding from an incident earlier. John West to his outside on row number 2. We've got Ryland Poole, Jonathan Saunders, and Ken Scott rounding out the field right now. The number 18 of Blake Smith has left the race, assuming after that incident with the 76 under caution, and Ella Scott has unfortunately taken her car to the garage area and parked it for the night, as we have 7 cars remaining out of the 9 that started.
Green,
Mike
green,
Saunders
green.
gets a really good jump here for the restart, and we are back to green as Mike Saunders leads us down into turn number 1. Lackey and that number 89 of Stohart, though, they're hungry boys for a win here in the Northeast iRacing League, as they're battling side-by-side drag racing down the back straightaway, but it's all Mike Saunders currently on lap number 17 to 30. As Lackey, we're looking to the inside of that number 88 machine, can't quite clear him, checks up just a little bit. That allows the number 89 to still hurt, kind of cross that 91 Lackey back over as they work down in turn number 1. It's still Mike Saunders the leader. Ryland Poole currently being scored 3rd, as well as the top 3 kind of separating themselves from that 4th and 5th place battle. Chad Lackey working that outside very, very well. And Mike Saunders is kind of not really running the top, not really running the bottom. He's kind of hanging out in that middle lane there, trying to fend off that number 91 of Chad Lackey as they work their way down into turn number 1 yet again, working lap number 19 of 30. So this time by will be 10 laps to go. As Lackey shows his nose down on the driver's door, that number 88 machine of Saunders as they work down into turn number 3. Lackey down on the bottom side. Saunders working that top side where he likes to be. But they come down the front straightaway, and lap 20, that time it's going to be Mike Saunders scored as the leader. As Chad Lackey's still working over that number 88 machine. These boys are not giving it up easy. I know Mike's, when he's up at that front, he does not want to give up that spot, and I know that number 91 Lackey is hungry for that first Northeast iRacing League win. Quentin Stohart currently running around with that number 76 of Ryland Poole, who's currently running in the top 5. Driver we normally don't see up there as Mike gets a little bit of a bobble going into turn number 1, and Chad Lackey looking to capitalize on that as he works to the outside of that 88 machine of Saunders. A really good battle for the lead here. It's quite entertaining to watch, Jared.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best battles I've seen for the lead all season, as Mike slips back into the number 2 position as Lackey pulls up to the high side, taking that lane away from Mike. Mike's really going to have to work hard to get that spot back by the looks of it, Colin.
Yeah, especially Lackey's always been strong here in the Northeast iRacing League, right from race 1, which was actually here at the USA Speedway. Don't count out Quentin Stohart, though. He's got a little bit of ground to make up, but he's got 7 laps to try and figure it out, as Ryland Poole not giving up in behind that number 89 machine. Chad Lackey is starting to pull away from that 88 machine of Saunders. It's kind of looking like even spacing between first, second, and third, about 3 or 4 car lengths. As Saunders is trying to see if there's any little bit of bite on the bottom there. Makes maybe a little bit of ground up coming off turn number 4, but not much, as the battle currently is for P3. We see the number 76 Pool try to throw a slider on that 89 to Stohart. Stohart still on that inside, though, not giving up, as he gets a little bit of a run off the bottom. Drag race down the back straightaway. 76 Pool still holds on to that lead, that position, but Stohart extremely strong up there. That number 444, John West, he's watching these two go door to door, and that's all he wants to see here as Stohart clears that number 76 of Ryland Pool, but Ryland drives in it hard into the corner, can't quite get it done. Going into turn number 1 as they're working their way back down the back straightaway. Working lap number 25 up 30. So we are officially 5 laps to go. Chad Lackey, Mike Saunders currently running P2. The 89 to Stohart, ending off that number 76 and 444 for P3. Jonathan Saunders still respectively sitting in 6. He's kind of been quiet all night, but doing good in his first Northeast iRacing League start. Is Ken Scott, after that earlier rollover, he's just riding around back there in P7. He had a really strong run going, but unfortunately, not sure what happened there. But he did end up in that incident, as Chad Lackey still pulling away. Working lap number 27 to 30, 3 laps to go here. But Mike Saunders, he's just can say he's extremely strong here tonight. Usually don't see him up running with the front runners. I know we only had a 9-car field here tonight, but can't say enough about Mike running these 358s. I know he doesn't run them a lot here in iRacing.
He seems to be a very adaptive driver, no matter what you put him behind, whether it be iRacing or mini stock. He seems to adapt quite quickly to the situations.
Yeah, as we're watching that battle for third continue to go on, Stohart and Poole going at it, as we're coming to 2 laps to go this time. As the dancing sticks are in the air for Chad Lackey as he's working his way down into turn number 1, but watching Stohart and Poole go at it right now. You know, Mike Saunders going to throw everything he has at that number 91 to try and even get to his back bumper. Not sure if Mike will be able to do anything with him if he does get to the bumper, but Lackey just been so extremely strong here as the white flag is being displayed. Now it's all been Chad Lackey for the most part tonight, winning the heat race. Chad working his way down in turn number 1 and 2 for the final time. Quite a bit of distance between that 88 machine trailing him. As Chad Lackey works his way down on turn number 3 and 4, it's going to be Lackey leading the way off turn number 4 as the checkered flag is going to fall for him. We're watching that battle for third, though. It's going to be Lackey coming away with the win. Mike Saunders coming away P2. Stohart and Poole. It's looking like it's going to be Quentin Stohart besting the 76 of Poole, as I'm pretty sure that 76 overdrove it into the corner. We're going to see what time is scoring, but the 444, John West coming away in P5. John Saunders coming away 6th, Ken Scott 7th. Unofficially, Ellis Gottner first race coming away P8, and Blake Smith after incident under yellow with another driver being scored last. So we invite any of the top 3 drivers to jump into the voice chat here. We'll be able to get a word from each of those guys. So if Chad, Michael Saunders, or Quentin Stohart can jump in, that would be much appreciated. What do you think of that whole race though there, Jared, while we're waiting for them to get their pictures and everything?
It was excellent, actually. Relatively clean driving. I know we had a couple incidences there, but I mean, it's to be expected with the number of cars we had in the field, but pretty good racing all in all, I must say.
Yeah, 100%, that's for sure. As we have Chad Lackey join the commentators chat here, our feature winner here tonight for the first time in the Northeast iRacing League. Chad, very, very strong on. I know you had an incident at the start there with somebody, ended up dropping back, but you were able to rebound and come away with the checkered flag here tonight.
Yeah, car felt good tonight. It was very good on the top. Track was very fast up there. It was fast on the bottom in qualifying, but as the night went on, slowly starting to move up the track. Yeah, I don't know what happened there on turn 1 midway through the race. I think he just got a little too hard, or drove a little too hard and into the corner there and just got into the back of me. But I wasn't mad about it. I knew there were still lots of laps left in the race, and then did what I could do and managed to move all the way back up to the start or the front and walked away with the win. So all in all,
Yeah,
lots of fun.
yeah, it's lots of fun watching you here. Of course, you've been the bridesmaid a couple times, and you're finally coming away as the bride, as they say here tonight. So, like I said, Chad, congratulations on getting it done. Patience definitely was key to tonight's race, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. With a small field here tonight. Just going to see if any other drivers want to jump in and chat before Jared and I sign off here for the sixth time in the Northeast iRacing League in the unofficial events. So just give those guys just a couple more moments. I know we've heard from Quentin before, so not sure if he's going to jump in. Michael Saunders, though, we're going to see if he joins us here tonight. As we do have Mike Saunders joining the Discord chat here. Mike coming away P2 tonight. Led quite a few laps. How do you figure it out, Mike?
That's a good question. I had been practicing a little bit because I've never really driven these before, so thought I'd do a little bit of practice, but that went a lot better than I expected. The 30 laps is a lot to keep those things straight.
Yeah, definitely. I know these 358 modifieds are quite a handful to drive. I know you do a lot of the asphalt side of things here in iRacing, so congratulations on your second place win tonight as we have Quentin Stowart joining the commentators chat here. We have him coming away P3. Early issues, led some laps, came from the back to the front, dropped a little bit back. What do you think about the race here tonight, Quentin?
It was a pretty good race. I definitely got caught up in some stuff at the beginning of the night. Had a steering issue the rest of the night, and that caused some issues for me. But other than that, it was a good race, good and clean.
Yeah, really good to see you join us here tonight. I know you were the first driver to join our hot lap session. It was always quite fun to watch you in this league. You're always strong here.
Yeah, thank you. I've been trying to work on these things. They're definitely a ton of fun, and there's some great drivers out here in this league to compete with.
Oh, 100%. You've got drivers from all disciplines. So, like I said, congratulations on your podium finish here. As wow, we're watching the replay of that rollover with Ken Scott, and that was just nasty, whatever happened there. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but anyways, congratulations on your good performance tonight, as we have John Saunders, driver who made his debut, coming away P6 here tonight. How do you think about the Northeast iRacing League, John, for the first time?
Actually, I had a lot of fun. It was kind of a last-minute thing that I jumped on, and I don't have a lot of wheel time behind these things, so it took a few laps to kind of get my bearings, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching you battle with your cousin there at one point in the heat race and throughout the future. It was definitely a family affair tonight. Like I said, you had cousins, you had father-daughter, so it was really great to see you join us here tonight, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Alrighty, I think that's going to be it for driver chats and interviews in the commentator chat. I'm Colin Chismore. I have Jared Galway along my side here tonight, joining me again. Doing quite a good job. We're both getting better at what we're doing here, Jared, so I can definitely say good job. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to the Northeast iRacing League, whether you're on YouTube, Discord, Twitch, whatever it may be. Even on Facebook, if you could give us a like, a follow, so we can get over that 100 like mark. So we'll be able to stream these races on Facebook Live. Give us follow, subscribe, whatever it may be, please. We would definitely appreciate that. Shout out to Urashi Media for partnering with the Northeast iRacing League as well. Appreciate Brody Plotz joining and partnering with us. And I'm Colin Chismore, driver of the 03C Mini Stock. Jared Galway to my side, 2021 Mini Stock Champion. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time.